issue facing the state of South Dakota at the present time.
It's a related topic. Education of our young people. Our young people are our future, folks. And if we don't ensure that they receive a quality education, we will not be able to be competitive either on the national level or the international level. I'm not talking, though, when I say quality education, necessarily of spending money. I think there's other ways to do it. I had a parochial education. We had 50 kids in the classroom. We had books, that was it. Even for our science course in the 9th grade. But when we got to high school, we were exceeding the rest of them that came out of your public institution. You can do it, but you gotta commit to it. It can be done. We need to educate our young people so that they can lead this nation someday. Without it, we are going to be sorely tried. I'm concerned, it's a concern of mine, I'm concerned about our young people. Our young people are our future. They are the most precious resource we have, bar none. I am fiscally conservative. I do not believe that we should have any more government than necessary. Government necessary to deal with issues concerning health, education, and welfare. Those are the things we need to spend our money on. But we don't always need to raise new taxes. That's not always the way to get it done. You do it through pro-growth. You do it through the increase of new businesses in your state. You raise your revenue that way. That's how you meet these programs that you need to fund. We don't have to always come up with new taxes. Thank you.
I believe the most important issue, it kind of goes with education and economic development. But the first thing we need to do is balance the budget. First and foremost. No money, no mission. Secondly, I believe education is critical. We have the SURF project in lead. A result of man's insatiable appetite for exploration, black matter, which we know nothing about, which we're exploring and we're going to determine, hopefully at some point, what that's all about. And as a result of that, we heard in a presentation before appropriations of a possible, just one example of economic development spinning off this project. A thing called geranium. Look at the empirical chart, it's right there. Geranium. They're going to make crystals down in the mine. Currently, we are spending $48,000 per ounce because we're buying it from Russia, because during the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, we got rid of our centrifuges. So Russia's charging us $48,000 an ounce. This couple, the chillers from Whitewood, our constituents presented this, and they feel that they can make for half the price. And what it'll do is for night vision goggles and determining nuclear materials coming across the border. One example of education coinciding with economic development and job growth, which we really, really need in our county and our country. So first, we need to balance the budget, no money, no mission. And I think education is absolutely vital, and then economic development.
Yep. Good for you, Fred.
The question, I believe, was what is the number one priority? Economic development, I believe, is the number one priority facing South Dakota's future. If we want to be able to have our young people be able to stay here and enjoy the quality of life we have to be able to have employment and business opportunities to offer them. In order to do that, we need to have a low tax structure and a favorable business environment, and take advantage of those opportunities that come our way through the internet, through a billion-dollar oil industry 200 miles to the north of us. There's plenty of opportunities. We got to be able to think out of the box sometimes on some of these things. Sometimes we're a little too parochial in South Dakota in our thinking because we don't have enough business experience, and people are able to come here and see that. But we've got plenty of business opportunities facing us that we need to take advantage of. The dearth of people that they've got available to fill the jobs in North Dakota is astounding. There's people moving here right now, settling their families here, and working in North Dakota because they can't find decent housing up there. You can't get service in a restaurant. You can't get anything up there. In order to be able to fill the jobs that they need to be able to drill for the oil up there, everybody that's up there is migrating to those best paying jobs. We have a key opportunity here right now in western South Dakota, especially right in this area, to be able to capitalize on that opportunity and funnel some of those oil dollars down here by having support industries right here. I mean, a lot of those businesses could be moving right here to Spearfish. It's a logical place for them to be, right onto 85 and right up the road. But we need to be proactive in terms of trying to be able to attract those businesses, possibly developing a business incubator here in cooperation with Black Hills State University to be able to incubate and start those businesses here so that we can have good paying jobs here that'll generate tax revenues, that help support education, help keep your property taxes low, all those things. It all stems from jobs. But I'll tell you one other thing that really concerns me with the tenor that we see in government today, and that's protecting your constitutional rights.
When somebody says the most important, that's pretty broad. But I have to come from where I come from and look at this. Now I agree with education. I agree with a lot of these elements. However, I also, in visiting with an elderly gentleman in the last few weeks, who had spent many years as a veteran congressman in South Dakota, he made a comment to me, and he said, you know what's missing in Pierre these days? He says, there's no common sense left. I'm a common sense conservative, and I don't mean that to be funny, but I mean in the depth of my heart and the commitment that I have for this nation and this state, starting in this county, I'd like to see some common sense back in our legislation. That's where it's important. We need leaders who will actually back up and take a look. And this person, another person told me, yeah, they throw these bills out there, they pass them, they won't even sometimes allow people to debate them on the floor, and then they don't even know how they're going to back up the bills. They just do it to pass bills. So I know you're asking me the most important thing. I think the most important thing is to get a hold of our state government and run it in a reasonable manner. These other things will come in line if we get conservative people in here and require accountability in a lot of areas. So that's what I have to say about that. Thank you.